In his first 50 games, he only conceded 24 goals, while in his last 50, they've conceded 53. Big change in that. Chelsea, for the first time, have lost 3 consecutive away matches under the current manager. Tim, they've had, what would you describe it, a very indifferent start, and that's probably doing them a favour.
Yeah, I think it's a hangover from last year as well. I don't think they finished that well. Tuchel don't look happy to me. You know, I never see him smile anymore. You know, he's always got a growling face. That's all right if you're winning every week, but I think the message what that sends out to your fans and certainly the new owner, you know, is it one of the top 10 jobs in the world of football? I would say. Yeah, I would enjoy it. I would enjoy doing that job. If I was in charge of Chelsea with the money what they're giving you to support you. At the moment, he's getting it wrong. You know, he knows that. I mean, he's an experienced manager. He's been around. There's no balance there. I'm not sure of the player philosophy. They're struggling with the 9. We had Lukaku. Everyone thought he was the missing piece of the jigsaw. It didn't materialise. He didn't use him in the correct way. And then they're bringing in like Raheem Sterling. We know Raheem's going to chip in with goals, but he's not number 9. And then Aubameyang's come in now. So, you know, he's pushed him in last night. I think it was way too quick. He looked way off the mark.
It looked like a panic move, that, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a strange one, Ali. You know, I listen, the boy obviously wants to play, wants to prove a point to Arsenal more than anyone. And so he wants to score goals. It's doom and gloom there at the moment. It will be interesting how much patience Todd Bowley's got. Obviously, if it was Roman Abramovich, he would already been gone.
It's funny, sorry, Gab. It's funny, Tim. Lads, I just think sometimes people say that you can make too much kind of body language, but I've been looking at Brendan and the body language is the same. Now look at Thomas Tuchel. He's just spent £250 million on players for his team, and you'd expect him to be buzzing with enthusiasm. I get it, you can't always be, you know, flying when things aren't going well, but his demeanour's, I agree with you, his demeanour's not great. Yeah,
I mean, he's used to spending money. I mean, he's been at PSG, hasn't he? I mean, so he knows how to spend it. I just think where they're spending it is not correct. I think it's a scattergun approach. The squad doesn't seem to have the right amount of balance. And the players are not, who they're bringing in, he's not improving. You know, and that's key. You know, they're getting worse, if anything. Koulibaly, for me, is not happening at the moment. He needs a partner to work with, and he needs to stay in that. He needs some consistency with your back players, certainly. If you're going to mix it around with your fullbacks, that's fine, in your midfield areas. But I just don't know what the pattern is at the moment. They bore me to watch, to be honest. I'm not really excited about watching Chelsea, but it is not. When you look at the table, Ali, it's not all doom and gloom. You know, they're still there. You know, one win can change everything. They can pull it back in this Champions League campaign. It was a terrible start for them, but something needs to change. It needs to change quickly. Otherwise, it will be interesting what the owners decide to do.
Yeah, because when you see there's a Chelsea game on TV, you're not excited, are you, to watch it? You know, they're playing on Super Sunday. You'd be like, I want to look for a Liverpool game, Man City, Arsenal, Spurs. They excite you more, don't they? And when you're spending that sort of money, even
with great respect, I apologise for interrupting. Even teams like Brighton and Fulham, they're a good watch, and I get it. I agree with you. I don't think Chelsea are a good watch.
Well, when I watch Brighton play, I know exactly how they're going to play. I mean, they've got a pattern. They've got, obviously, Potter's, I think, is a very, very good manager. He obviously works on a training field, and he gets a philosophy and a playing style that everyone knows and everyone buys into, and he plays to the strengths of the individuals what he's got in his squad. So, you know, he has to come and get a lot of credit. And you're absolutely right; they are more attractive to watch because they score more goals at the moment, and score more goals than Brighton normally don't go into the same sentence. But listen, if he had the firepower what Thomas Tuchel had, you can imagine what they'd be doing at the moment. I think at the moment Thomas has got to look at himself. Not too much his players, but it all starts from the top. You know, if the manager walks in doom and gloom, then the players, you know, it drifts down. I mean, Gabby, you've been in the dressing room with me. I'm doom and gloom sometimes, and it drifts to the players very, very quickly. So it's a facade you have to put on this smiley face. And listen, he's experienced enough, and I hope he pulls it through because I really think he is a good manager.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. With a couple of good callers on, Tim, Gabby, and Jerry and Joe, Chelsea fans understandably concerned, agreeing with just about everything that's been said so far this morning, but I would think the general opinion and vast majority of the Chelsea fans, it's his team at the moment. He's brought these players in. He's got to be given a good bit of time, surely. Although we did make the point under previous ownership, it might have been a different case.
Absolutely, it would have been gone already. And who's to say that's wrong or right? I mean, as an ex-manager, you know, you think, well, you need to be given time, but Mr. Abramovich never given the time. And what did they do? Changed them. And what did they do after that? Win. You know, so what do Chelsea fans want? You give someone the time, and you know, or give him an opportunity. They'll probably, a lot of them, lose patience themselves in the end. They'll say, "Why give him the time? It works for us. The product what we have is to sack managers who are not performing. It works. They lift trophies. That's what Chelsea do."
I think as well, this transfer window, it's been a record of money spent by any club in Premier League history. 260 million.
Yeah.
Surely, when you're spending that money, you have to get closer to Man City.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be 10, 15 points away from the champions, can you?
No.
Chelsea. You know, we know Chelsea, the Mourinho Chelsea, used to winning Premier League titles.
Yeah.
They can't be so far off it, can they?
Yeah, and when you're a manager, you haven't got an argument. When you're spending money, it heaps more pressure on. The more you spend, the more pressure you're under. And I'm sure when they've given him the record amount, as you're talking about,
his players as well.
They need to be winning the title. I mean, Chelsea are not. Minimum requirement is top 4 and a trophy. And I don't think the trophy we're talking about is the FA Cup or the League Cup. I think it has to be the Champions League. So it's difficult to win the Champions League. We see how difficult it is to win a game in the Champions League, and they saw it last night. So, look, it's going to be a tough one, but I think hopefully they're patient with him. With my manager's head on, I hope they're patient for him. But I think once the Chelsea fans start losing patience, I think in the end they will change him. Pochettino's in the back, stretching off already.
Tim, it's amazing. I actually said to Gabby this morning, crazy as it might sound, at this moment in time, you actually think Chelsea and Liverpool have got a better chance of winning the Champions League than they have the title.
Yeah. With the likes of them two clubs, you know, where they've got players saturated with players who are proven winners. Sometimes if you lose too many games in the Premier League and you're too far adrift, in their attention turns to the other big trophy, which is the Champions League. So they don't give up, of course they don't, but managers, fans, and certainly the players, their priority becomes something where they can actually win and not finish top 4. Do you think Chelsea players really want to finish top 4 if they can't win the Premier League? Their motivation is to win. They're used to winning, and the Liverpool players as well now. So the priority will shift. They just can't lose much ground on Man City, because Man City are a runaway train at the moment and they just look invincible.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.